So today I am going to be doing my, just got to get my screen up over there. I'm going to do a little still life. How is my screen not going to move? Come on, move. No, it doesn't want to move. My goodness. No? Okay. Strange. Okay, I'll have to put that back. That's all right. Anyway, welcome. So today I am going to be drawing and painting a little still life of apples, and I thought it would be a fun one because it's got lace. The bowl's got lace in it, and I really enjoyed drawing lace. So I'm going to start with my little apples. And just got to get my other screen up. I don't know why my other screen's not working. I'll put this one back over there. That's okay. Hang on. We've got a split screen. Just bear with me, peeps. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So, yes, I'm drawing these 3 apples. So, there's 3 apples in a bowl, and the bowl has got a lace border. I thought that would be a fun one to try and do. And I haven't drawn lace in years. I used to really enjoy it. And I'm going to be using my watercolour and gouache. Around here. Then the bowl comes around this edge. There's a very dark background. Actually look like eggs when I've drawn them, but it is a bowl of lace with a lace doily on it. Make these apples a little bit bigger as I figure things out. See what I've done there already? I've got to bring that line down, make that apple bigger. It'll take a little bit of adjusting. That's fine. Because there's 3 of them in the bowl. Make them a bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Then that bowl comes around here, like that. The lace straights down here, like that. That one comes around the back, and the background is really traditionally old, dark looking. Like that. Okay. You can only just see the bottom of the bowl there, so I'll draw that in like that. Got to get the angles right because it's a slight downward tilt. So I'll do the initial washes in watercolour and then I will do the rest in gouache. So I draw that little stem on there. That little stem's facing this way, and that little stem is up like that. And then I'm just going to rough sketch in my doily, which is pattern around the edge is quite thick, so I'm not going to worry so much about that. Then the pattern comes up here. I'm just going to draw in the lines just to suggest the pattern, like that. Around. So it's basically circles, actually, like little spiderwebby circles. So I'll draw different patterns like that, and then I'll round the other ones off a bit. I've made them a bit too straight, but that'll give me my lace effect. Do another little circle there. That around here. I'm just drawing that in. So just, it's not exactly like the reference, but it'll suggest lace, which is all I need it to do. I just need it to suggest what it is. This one will be in shadow, but you can still see the pattern. So I'll draw the pattern in. Like that. Just suggesting it. That, and just, you won't be able to see much of that. I'm going to use gouache and watercolour, so if I mess up anything, I can change the pattern after with white gouache. So that's not an issue. Not a problem at all. This is all in shadow, just in here. Okay, and then actually that just comes up and around the corner, so I don't like that one already. I'm just going to move that, change that. Just turn it into more of a... Yeah, I didn't like that pattern. So I'll just keep this meshy sort of pattern going. Around the edge. A bit more lead in my pencil, there. I love these mechanical pencils because you never need to sharpen them. You just press a button and they're sharp again. I do love that. I can always pop. Now that I've done that sort of roughly, the edge of it goes around there. I can pop little suggested starry bits in here and there. Can't really see them on the other side. Like that, just like that. That'll do. I'm going to leave that at that, and we're going to get into the watercolour. So I've already spritzed my watercolour, but I might give them another little spritz. Because these are my, I've gone completely blank. They are my Paul Rubens watercolours that I'm using today. And I'm going to start with the background. I'm going to find my little brush that I had yesterday. Get my bit of cloth. And we're going to do the background first. We'll do the background first. And we're going to do the background dark. We're going like a traditional old school watercolour. So I'm going to go in with like my indigo. Beautiful indigo. Love indigo. It's probably my favourite colour ever. And I'm just going to fill in the background with indigo. So yeah, just come around the edges. I'm going to leave as much of the white of the paper as I can, because there is no brighter white than the white of the paper. So that's the ideal. Darken that up a bit. I might even add a bit of brown to that, or a bit of brown. Go to like my burnt umber, just to grey that off a little bit. Just darkens it up a fraction. Hang on, just got to clean this palette. It's got a little bit of yellow in the bottom. Don't want that. Clean my brush again. Go back to my blue. There we go. Go back to there. Bit of brown. I want to darken it up. There we go. Just a touch more. Okay, I'm going to pop that in. You can see that slightly darkened it. Like that, around the outside. Hello, Zargo, how are you? How are you, doll? So I'm going to cut around the edge. What have you been up to? Thought I'd have a bit of fun with a watercolour and gouache still life today. I do love a still life. Now, underneath the bowl and the table, I'm going to do a brown. I'm going to go transparent sienna. I think it's transparent sienna or burnt sienna. I'm going to go burnt sienna here. Get more burnt sienna on my brush. Oops, there's a bit of white in there. Didn't clean my palette very well. There we go. Give it another go. And between these, all good. There's a huge delay from here to Australia. Yeah. Spring is starting. Yes. Awesome. We're coming into winter. We're in autumn. So I'm just going to cut around, just leave little gaps of the white for the pattern on the lace. But this is the colour the bowl is inside. Yeah, we're coming into our cooler months and it's so lovely. I'm so happy because I dread summer. Yeah, because the bowl's brown, they're sitting in, but you can just see it peeking through the lace. So this is where I'll use the gouache. I'll tidy up the edges and things and pop pattern in if I need to. Hello, Bacon. How are you, mate? And I've got new glasses, so I'm these are reading glasses, but they're beautiful for doing art. But I struggle to read distances, so I've got to lean over to read my distances. Come up here. And how's your art been going, Zargo? What you been up to? So these are actually tiny paintings I'm doing for the Tiny Painting Challenge. So I'm trying to do 100 tiny paintings, but I'm also mixing in some normal stuff amongst it. But so yesterday I did my chickens, my little chicky wickies. Just changed to summertime, light savings time. It's a little bit confusing. Yeah, I hate it when daylight savings changes. It always messes me up. I don't mind it when you get up later, but the earlier one messes me around. And I can never remember. So it's jump forward, fall back. So yeah, our clocks turn back in, I don't know when. I have to Google. But we have it, it's a bit later than you guys, I think. So I've just got to be careful here because I don't want to make too much of a mess. Not too much, to be honest. I'm trying to get back into drawing, but gosh, I'm so rusty. Yes, I haven't been doing it for over 2 years. Yeah. I stopped for a while too, Zarg. It's all right. It doesn't take long to come back. I stopped. I mean, I still drew for myself. I sort of, yeah, because I adore my drawing. I love drawing. I couldn't, yeah. But I didn't stream, and I was very rusty to begin with to getting back into it. But even I find a good, that's why I started this tiny painting challenge, because it's good to, if you haven't got a lot of time, because I'm back working with my kids again. My kids have got a business, so I'm helping my kids with their business. So I'm back working. So I haven't got a lot of time, so I thought tiny paintings are perfect because I can slot them in when I'm doing anything else, like between, like I'll have to start work at about 9, and it's now, I have no idea, it's now 8 o'clock in the morning. So I start work, I can start work a little bit later, but I want to head out about 9. So tiny paintings are a great problem solver. Now this is going to take a little bit of finessing because there's a table under here as well. So you can see the bowl through it. This might not work. I'm not sure that this painting is actually going to work, but we'll try. Because I haven't drawn lace in years. So the bowl goes up and around there, like that. Comes down here. So that's the bowl there. So I'll fill that in. Like that. I can even do this with gouache. I have tried for a year membership of Unsplash. Oh, yeah, subscribe for a year on Unsplash, so I can use all the better references. Yeah, Unsplash is awesome, and I got the subscription as well because you can get so much more quality pictures. They're higher definition. They're yeah, much better. That's awesome. Now what I've done here is I've forgotten that there's a table under there. So I've actually got to do a darker brown, and I'm going to mix it with this brown. It's like, this is like a, I wouldn't say it's an umber. It's a, what would I say that is? It's like a, what's it called? Walnut brown. So I'm going to pop that over here, and I'm going to bring that under the table, where the table is, where the bowl is, because you'll see it coming around the bottom of the bowl, the darker brown. Trying to visualise it in my mind's eye whilst painting. Oh, lace, I would never. I do some crochet, some lace, sometimes painting or drawing. No. I did it years ago. I did a painting of lace and it turned out beautifully. This one, it might not work. No guarantees. No guarantees. It might be an epic fail, but you know what? It's fun to try. And that's why, being a tiny painting, it doesn't matter. Oh, see what I just did? Oops. But I'm doing it with, I can go over the top with gouache, so it's not a problem. And I've got all the colours in gouache that I've got in. See what I've done there? I've got to put this blue with this brown underneath because it's mixed over there. But I didn't put it under here, so I've got to put it under there just to bring that to a darker colour. I might even add a purple over the top of that. Well, epic fails are also learning. Exactly. That is so very, very, very true. Now, I'm going to go in with a stronger, I'm going to actually use my burnt sienna in my gouache now. Going into my gouache, because who doesn't love gouache? Not burnt sienna. Yeah, no, it is burnt sienna. Go into my burnt sienna. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to strengthen up with my gouache around the top. I'm going to try and get it to look at least a little bit darker at the top, I think. Try and get that three-dimensional perspective. And it's going to be darker. I've done way too much lace over here, but you know what? It's all good. Because it's very muted in the reference. And I've been loving gouache. I've set myself up 2 little mini palettes up here on the right. And I take them we go on holidays and stuff, all away for weekends, and I take them with me. And I am loving gouache. Because it fixes all the problems. But I love that I can mix it with watercolour, so I can still have the softness, but also get the depth and the guts. I've got to make it darker into the middle. This is definitely going to take a little bit of finessing. Come down here. I spent 3 years epic failing at abstract. You know what? I've never, ever, 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 ever tried an abstract. That's the only form of art I've never tried. Because my brain just doesn't work that way. You've got to be a different kind of thinker, I think. My mum used to like abstract. Like, I'm an impression. I draw impressions. But it's very different. I'm just going back over and filling all of these in. I will go in with a darker colour at the end. Because I need to darken up the bottom and the inside behind the apples. It's a lot harder than one would think. Oh, God. Because you've got to have the concept in your mind. And I'm very visual. Yeah, my brain just doesn't work like that. I had a friend who was an abstract artist, and she'd do the size of your wall abstracts, and they were amazing, but her imagination was a whole other level. It was great to watch, but I could never do it. I mean, you know, never say never, but I never had the inclination to try. Anyone can do anything they set their mind to. I just never set my mind to it. But yeah, it's a different mindset. Definitely a different mindset. But I admire people who can do it. There was a fella that I used to go to art shows and that with, and he used to paint abstract, but you could pick things out. Like he'd do an abstract, but it was of a place. But you'd go to an art show and you'd see one of his pieces and it'd be like, hang on a minute, isn't that this place or isn't that place? And you go, oh, you got it. But it was very abstract. All the usual rule applies, but you have to remember to make everything up and add it. Yes, yes. Okay, now I am going, see, I can see what I've done wrong here. I need to add more white. I get into it a lot and totally overwork everything. Yeah, story of my life. You're not alone. It's the eternal struggle, overworking. The eternal struggle. Now I'm going to darken up the bottom of this bowl. Get a bit more moisture on my brush. I'll leave a little bit of light shining in. The bottom is in shadow. Now where'd that go? There. Look. Got to come in behind these apples. Excuse my computer making all the noises. I forgot to turn my alerts off. You know what? It would be so much easier just to do it with gouache over the top. I should just do that. Then I can just add, because I can still do that. I can still add the lights in. I've just got to mix up some more blue and brown to make a grey. Still mix up my own grey. Bluey grey. Not all the way around. I want to keep a line. So the line sort of comes around here, there, around here. Shape of the top of the bowl. Shadows are in here. You know what? I'm going to do this because I can add it back. I need to do this for myself so I can see the shape of the bowl. Like that. And I can keep my dark inside that and put the lights back. I'm just going to go over the top. I can put the lights back. That's the beauty of gouache. You can fix it. I just need to get my shadows in. Bit of blue, bit of brown, makes my grey, bit more blue. Oops, a bit more blue. Then I'll put my white back over the top. I think it's because I did, oh, what's my doodah doing? My doodah's telling me something. Go away. I think it's because I did so much coloured pencil work before. Oh my God, I cannot use pencil. Feels wrong to be done in a few minutes. I'm getting the zone. It feels, yeah, the camera shifted focus. Oh, okay, hang on. Come on to focus. Is it focusing? Hang on. Is that better? No, what's it doing? Can't see. I haven't got my right glasses on. I can't see the distance. Is that better? I've got to fix. I've got to learn how to do that too. Hang on, I'll try and zoom. Oh, there we go. Hang on. I'll try and zoom. Is that better? Better? Okay. I'm going to put the lace back. The shadow goes around there, but not quite to the top. My messages take about a minute to get through though. Oh, that's all right. I'll go down here. Fill this in. Looks very messy at the second. Looking very messy, but that's okay. And I'm going to go in with my white. I'm going to tidy up some of these edges. I can add a little bit more pattern in. So just let that dry. That's fine, I don't mind. I'll let that do its second flow a little bit, won't hurt it. Yeah, there is a way of setting my pop in these tiny lines actually. Because lace has tiny lines. This is why I love gouache. This is why I love gouache. Just saying, I've got to let that other stuff dry on the back. A little bit wet to work with yet. I'm just going to work around these edges. Adding in a few more little lines. Marking out the little overhangy bit coming down here. Oops. Okie doke. Having a look. Let's keep my hand in there because that keeps it focused on my hand, I think. There we go. Now I can go, it's not quite dry. Got to let that dry a little bit more, but I'm going to go in with my really dark indigo over here for the bottom. For this in here, I want this to be in shadow. My deepest, darkest. I did have the brown. I'm not happy with that colour that I had, so I'm going to pop this in into the darkest area underneath the bowl. Just work my way a little bit through here. I can just pop little dots of the blue in. You'll see it's sort of snipping through the lace. Around the bottom of the shape of the bowl. Just got to wait for that top bit to dry a little, just a little. You can tidy those up down there. Indigo, watercolour or gouache. This indigo, the indigo up there is watercolour. This indigo is gouache. I just went over the initial one, the watercolour one with the gouache because I felt like I just needed it to be a bit stronger. I'll add these lines back in a bit neater in a minute. Just got to get some more white. I've got to add, it's not what, I've got to be patient. I've got to be patient. There we go, hang on. Now I can add these lines back in. I've got to have the purest, strongest gouache on my brush. There's no real pattern, like I've done a pattern, I've got to make it thicker there. Thicker there. Whoops, coming around. Keep my hand in the shot so it stays zoomed. No guarantees this is going to work, peeps, but I'm trying. But but all paintings have an ugly face. So I'm just hoping this is it. Just hoping. He's hoping this is the ugly face. What brand? I only know of Winsor & Newton having a decent one. Oh, my God. My favourite indigo is Schminky. This is Paul Rubens. And my gouache is a mixture of Shinhan gouache and Schminky gouache. But I'm loving the Shinhan because it's affordable, for one. There we go. Getting there. I need to paint more lace because I'm not out of practice. Okay, but that sort of looks like lace in a bowl, I think. Maybe. Maybe. Except I've got to do... Hang on. Got to tidy up some of these lines. I can always add more and change the patterns. That's the beauty of gouache. I can change it. If I'm not happy with it, I can change. All right. Okay, I'm going to start on the apples. And I'm going to go in with watercolour first. I've got to clean my palette a little bit. Because I've got stuff going everywhere. Got my bit of kitchen cloth handy. You do love kitchen cloth. Give this a wash. Yeah, I'll go in with a base of watercolour and then I'll go over the top with the gouache. All right. Got my brush. And I'm going to go in first with a lime green. I'm not buying any more gouache for years. I subscribe to a year of paint brushes and lessons from Sarah Burns with Craftamo, and I got totally lost less than halfway through. Oh no, that's no good. Try and get my zoom back. There we go. And what colour was I going to do? I was going to do a light green base because these apples I've got, like they've got a little bit of green. So I'm actually going to do a wash. Oops, get a wash of green. They're red apples, but they've got a little tinge of green. So I'm going to put that on so that this will sparkle through the finished piece. And I was going to use my Sennelier paints, my watercolours today, because I collect watercolours. I'm a hoarder. I love all my watercolours. If I can afford them, I get them. I don't care what brand it is, I'll try them. As long as they're professional, I'll have them. So I've got Sennelier, Schminky, Paul Rubens, Holbein. I can't remember, there's a Japanese brand. It's a really heavy, strong watercolour. It's almost a gouache kind of watercolour. The Russian one. I've got you name it. I've collected it over the years. I love watercolours. Okay, so that looks very yellow. Got 24 brushes and 30 colours of Shinhan gouache. I love the Shinhan gouache. I really love my Schminky, but Shinhan has won me over big time. Now, the apples. So I'm going to that's the base. Because it's gouache, it doesn't matter so much. I can actually go in with my red pretty quickly. And I'm just trying to think I need to look at my colour chart. There's my colour charts. I've got 2 colour charts here with my different colours on. So I need to have a look at those and decide on my red, my apples. I think I'm going to go with this one for the first layer. It's quite vibrant. It is quite vibrant. I don't mind if it softens and blends with the watercolour a bit. I'm going to fill that in. I'm just going to leave little bits of that green peeking through. Do one apple at a time. I do love drawing fruit. I really enjoy it. I did apricots once and they turned out really good. Probably got 60 plus of gouache. Oh, wow. See, yeah, I'm like that with watercolour. I've only just started collecting gouache. I can see it's going to be my new obsession. And it's quite easy to mix up your own colours too. I can't remember who it was, but I just watched someone mixing up their own gouache paints, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. I could actually make my own boutique colours. Okay. So now I'm going to go back in with my gouache green. A little bit of red still on that. Got to get that off there. Just want to add a bit darker into the core of the apple just here. Like that. Coming around the edge a little bit. It'd be very dark right in the middle. That actually looks like a tomato. But that's okay. I'm going to make my red a bit purpley. I'm going to add a bit of blue to it. I want to darken it up for the shadow areas on the apple. There's shadow areas down here. Just darken it a fraction. I'll get a bit more blue than that. Okay, a bit more water on my brush. And coming under the apple. Add a bit of blue, and there's shadow in here. Like that. And then I can do a darker line right around the outside at the end. I'm going to go into this core bit on this side and darken up this side. All right, I could soften that a little bit. I do not dare start on counting watercolour. I am having a look. I might go a stronger red. Go a bit of a stronger red as well. Just over here. They're not just one flat colour, they're all different colours in amongst it. A bit brighter over here. I'm going to have to use, I haven't got a lime green. I'm going to make a limey green gouache. Got to add that in up here. I'm going to go over the top. That's a bit dirty. Got a bit more yellowy green. That's a bit better. Like that. There's a few flecks coming down and around. Just a few little ones. I'll pop those in. I'm going to put like a highlight on the side of this one. Like that. And then a little bit of a light on this side. Whoops. Down here. Got to stop worrying about what it is and look at the shapes. Look at the shapes and the shadows. Coloured pencils are perfect for apples. The lines they make are fantastic for the skin. Yeah. I've never ever mastered a pencil. I'm going to blend this a little bit at the edges. I want it to be a bit softer. Add a bit more of that red in. Whoops, it's a bit goopy, but anyway. Come back to that. Okay. And then the stalk is brown, so I'm just going to go in with a bit of sienna with the stalk. Bit of burnt sienna. I love me burnt umbers, me burnt siennas. All right, I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll work on this next apple now. She's a ruby red. So I'll go in with that. Much stronger red. base colour in, I can finesse everything at the end. This little stalk comes up there. Take that shape out of fraction. It's going to block this in. That looks nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, Stitched. It's one of those, it's ugly, it's ugly, it's ugly, and then it'll work. As they do. And because it's a picture that I'm not done for a very long time, I thought it'd be fun. And I'm glad I did it on a smaller scale too, because if I had done it large, it would have broken me. I'm just going to make a purple with that same red. So go into my red, into my blue, make a deeper sort of purple for the shadowy bits. This one is more in shadow on this side. Oops, doesn't want to do it. Got to make that stronger. A bit more water in my brush. Coming down under here. All right. They are really pretty, but a bit on the dry side to eat. Yeah, just a little. Now I'm going to go back into my burnt sienna. Actually going to go on a painting spree in the next few days, so I'm going to take my gouache palettes with me, so I've got to top them up the next day or two. I'm going to go back into my green that I've got sitting here still. I can adjust the shapes on these. I'm just looking at shapes at the second, trying to pick out. Where are you going, if I might ask? Oh, down the river. There's a river near us. And yeah, I'm just going to take my paints and sit by the river, because I've been trying to do landscapes more. And actually, and this weekend I might go down the ocean and do some painting, because I love surf as well. I've been trying to draw landscapes and surf beaches. And you're trying to get a bit braver with all my things. I'm really not liking that apple. I don't think I'm liking that apple. It's looking a bit weird. So I'm going to go back into this other red. See, this is a beauty. You can just change your mind with gouache and do that. So I've just changed my mind, and we're going in with this red over the top. I just don't like that red. This wasn't doing it for me. And I'll add in the highlights. I'm just going to go over that green, start again. This is the beauty of gouache, people. You can adjust. You can change plan. And if you don't like something, at the end you can just paint over the whole thing with a whole different scene. Nice. Look like fine on camera? Yeah, nah. I just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. Got to clean my brush, go back into my green. Get a bit of yellow. Put that back now, up here. I don't mind it being wet, a little bit wet on wet. So I'm just going to add that green in first, last now, like that. And then a bit lighter red. Go darker into that, just into the centre. Let that dry a little bit. Go onto there. And I'll work, once that's dry, I'll work around it a bit more. There's a bit of a light down here. This one's got a bit of light coming around the back of it. I'm going to drag that green out a little bit. And I'm going to go into this green, the stem a little bit. Okay, they're looking a bit better. Hello, Avocado, how are you? Come to your YouTube. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. I'm just fiddling around trying to get my still life's happening. How have you been, Avocado? What's been happening? I've got to let that dry a little bit before I go back in. Okay, now I'm going to go up to this other red up the top. I'll use my darker red, my stronger red. It's much more vibrant. It's just beautiful. This is why I love gouache. So look how pretty that is. Even if my lace doesn't really look like lace. I can always go over it again and just do it, hand draw it in, which I still might do. I don't know. I'm undecided. What do we think, peeps? Do I need to go back in and redo my lace? I don't know. Or I can just rework it a bit. So this is the the challenge is with gouache is you can just keep going back. You can keep changing things, which is not a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing because there's no end. It's like an oil painting. You can paint gouache for years. You can actually repaint the same painting for years. I've got one friend who's an amazing, amazing artist, and he spent 5 years on one painting. It was beautiful, and he got into the World Wildlife Awards with it. Absolutely bloody stunning work, but 5 years. I'm like, oh my word, that's a lot of time. That's dedication. That's real dedication. Okay. Now I'm going to go make this dark purple again. Go my red. Go my blue. I make it very watery though. I do still make my gouache incredibly watery, like watercolour. Which you're not supposed to. You don't have to. See how I've got that quite wishy-washy. I'm going to come around this little stalk, round that apple, and come up. Because this apple, the back side of it, is in shadow. Been painting miniatures for a tabletop game lately. They're so tiny, about just as big as your thumbnail. Oh my God, that is tiny, tiny. I could not. I lose track if I leave stuff just overnight. Yeah, me too. I'm one of these ones. I'm inspired in the moment. I lose that inspiration. I'm not a come back to it person. Mind you, having said that, gouache has made me see flaws in my work that I'm like, you know what? I can go, even a watercolour painting in another art book that I've done years ago. I'm like, you know what? I can go and fix that. If I like the piece, I can go fix it. And that was never a thing with me, ever, ever, ever. But I'm now becoming sort of into the fact that, oh, I can fix things. Woohoo. Because watercolours usually you're done. But with gouache, you can go back and fix it. So I have another watercolour book that I made a mess of. And I went back and painted over in gouache, and that was fun. Because I'm like, because Scott said, you've got gouache, Jen. You can, it's my husband. He's like, you've got gouache, Jen. You can go back in and fix it. And I'm like, oh my God, I can. Totally forgot. That was a thing. I can see a little bit of reflected light over the back here. Just looking, trying to pick it. Having a look. Okay, I've got to let them dry for a little bit. I'm going to go onto my, I'm going to fix up. I'm going to go into my indigo. And I'm going to fix up some of this down here. Tidy up some of these shapes. The lace is not that thick down here. Clean up some of these shapes under the bowl. Go down onto the table into that shadow area. So I can make that shadow there. Come around the bowl, leave the bowl a fraction lighter so you can still see the bowl through the lace. Like that. The shadow does sort of come down. The lights, it's sort of lit from the top. Okay, clean my brush. I'm going to have a rest for a second and go back. I've got to tidy up these whites over here. Oops. While the apples are drying. What I can do after, I'm going to let the gouache dry. Because I've also got to add a bit of shadow, but I'm going to use a light blue, and I might even go in with the watercolour blue over the top of the white on this side to shadow the lace. At the end. And it's just forgetting what it is. Forget what it is. Think about it as shapes. Now I'm going to go back in. I'm going to add a bit of indigo to my red. Make a super dark purple. Super dark. Come in here. Around the bottom here. And add this super dark shadow into the apples where they join, where anywhere there's a darkest shadow. Like that. This is where things start to pop a little bit and start to look right. Hopefully. Famous last words. Down the back there. Got to soften that a fraction. Almost go into that with a bit of red, which I might. So that's really wet up there, but this is dry. So I'm going to go back into my greens. I'm going to bring this back here a little bit. Go a bit more of a yellowy green. get there. I'm just fiddling and fiddling. I'll get there. Challenge, that's for sure. Just got to soften these edges at the end. Look. Bang, they're really popping. They're getting there. They're getting there. Slowly, slowly. And the problem, the one thing too, sometimes you can get a bit too close to your work. Sometimes it's best to stand back. I might stand back a bit and have a look. You can get a bit too close to it, and it can distort what you're seeing. So it's always good. That's why a lot of people stand up when they paint, so they can step away from it a little bit. This one's got little flecks. And I've got to add that dark. I've got to put this dark down here as well. The deep dark red. Purple, almost. Shadow purple. Soften the edge. Okay, having a look. See, I've lost my stem on this one. I'm going to go back in. A bit more water in your brush. That's still a little bit wet maybe. Go onto this one. Okay. Go into my darker green. Just here. Almost blue. I'll use that purple right in the centre underneath. A circle shape. Got to get that circle shape back. I can go like an orange yellow. A bit stronger. I need that to be a bit stronger. Not that wet. Touch that with my cloth. Less moisture. More paint. There we go. Just thinking the shape. You've got to go the direction of the shape of the apple. Okay. That's okay. And this one I'm going to do the same thing. It's got sort of coloured stripes coming out of the core. Like that. This one's just dark, so I'm going to add that dark in there. Like that. There is a highlight on the other side, just not this side. That one's all dark in there. Then there's light over here. A bit of a light highlight. Now I'm going to brighten up my highlights a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add the brown. I might go yellow ochre colour onto my stalks. Stronger dark on the back of my stalks. Just got to get a bit more on there. Like that. Getting there. Now, I'll let them rest for a minute and I'm going to go back onto my lace. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to do a wash. I've got to clean my palette a fraction. Clean my palette just a little bit. So I want to add, got to add a shadow on the white on that side. I don't know, I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I could even make a lighter blue lace. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out because I've got to shadow this lace over here somehow. So I'm going to try a little bit of blue watercolour over the top of the gouache. We'll see if that works. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. I just want to shadow it a little bit over here. Only the very top of it. Sticking to the little lines. I think that'll work just for the shadow on the lace. It's all shadowed in here. Oh, I just got to be a bit careful not to wander off gouache because it'll spread it. It pretty much re-wets it. Okay. That looks all right. That had the desired effect. I'm sort of learning on the go here, peeps, so. Oops. Top highlight now. Okay, yeah, down here's shadow. The rest is in light. Okay. We'll add a very, very, very highlight bit on the top, top. I can get back this light just up here. Where the light's hitting the top of the lace. All right, that's looking all right. I'm sort of happy with it. I think maybe. I think maybe, she says. Not sure. Got to get a little bit of light back in there. A bit of light around there. Coming around here. Get the shape back on these apples. That bright's beautiful there. I'm happy with that. Might add a little bit more light red over here. I can add that with a bit of white actually. Onto that red while it's still damp, it'll spread out a bit. There we go. Oops, I dropped my cloth. And I've got to add a yellowy highlight on the top of the stalks. I reckon I'm going to call those done. I reckon. I'm thinking. I do actually know I've got to add a bit of light back. A bit of the gouache highlight. And the edge of the lace around the edge of the bowl. Because that lace does go the edge of the bowl. I've got to tidy up the lace around the edges now. It's not flat because it's lace, and I should have done that up here as well, but that's okay. I can bump it around a bit, make it not look so flat and perfect. Because lace isn't. Just do little loops here and there. Give it that lacy look. Here we go. I reckon I'm going to call that done. I'm happy with that. That's enough. That's enough fiddling. I'm just going to put my initials down the bottom. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to take my tape off. We can see it. It's a dunsy little piece. Looks great. Thank you. It turned out pretty good. Pretty good for an experiment. And that's a 3 inches by 2.5 inches. So it's technically a tiny painting. But I really like that. That turned out pretty good. I think I'm happy with that maybe. Oh, I've seen a bit I need to touch up though. Just one little bit that I've messed up down here that needs to be cleaned up. Ah! As I wreck it. Hang on. Get a bit of, not so much water. There we go. Just want to tidy this little bit down here. Get back in there with a bit of pure white. There we go. That's a bit better. It's a bit more neat. Hang on. And gap's a bit smaller. Okay, she is done. Thank you. I'm rather happy. That turned out all right, considering I wasn't sure it was going to work at all. So I will be back tomorrow for another video. So hopefully all going well and not being too busy. But I'm hoping I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out. It was great to see you all. Thanks for hanging out, Zargo and Stitched and everyone. And I've gone completely blank. Who else was here? Zargo, Stitched, Avocado. Thank you. Have an awesome day. I'm going to head off because it's now 9 o'clock right on the dot. I've got to go.